You are listening to Central Indiana Sports Central, your daily update on the Pacers, Colts, IU, Purdue, IndyCar, the Fever, Ball State, Butler, and, of course, the best high school sports coverage in Central Indiana.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengel.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Central Indiana sports fans, and welcome to the Central Indiana Sports Report's Central Indiana Sports Central, where we go over the day's news in Central Indiana. Today is Sunday, August 24th, 2025, and I am your host, Greg Mengel. Coming up, we have a report from Elijah Poe from Saturday's qualifying and a preview of Sunday's race in Milwaukee, and Will Retherford's reaction to the Colts win over the Bengals in their preseason finale. Mostly we just talked about the Colts and the expectations for the season. Then we will hear from Rob Hunt on the Madison County Girls Golf Tournament dominated by Lapel, actually a meet record. Scott Hunt of the Marion Chronicle will have a report from a Marion Oak Hill girls boys doubleheader in soccer. I also spoke with Elwood Girls Flag Football head coach Zak Jarrell about the Panthers' program debut on Saturday, a shutout win over Ritter. Then we'll be joined by our IU guy, Grant Shouse, who talked about the start of the college football season. Actually got underway Saturday with a matchup of a couple of ranked teams in Dublin, Ireland, but mostly we talked about IU football. I should mention that the Fever also play on Sunday. They play the Minnesota Lynx, and we will have a Fever report after the game ends, sometime before midnight. Your Central Indiana Sports Center update begins now. I was joined by our IndyCar guy, Elijah Poe, earlier Saturday to talk about qualifying at the Milwaukee Mile and to preview Sunday's race, where Alex Palou will go for his record-tying 10th victory. The following is a clip from Saturday's IndyCar report with Elijah Poe. Please go check that out.
It's great to see IndyCar back in Milwaukee. To get this short oval going, and IndyCar, we've said it all year, they just look great on these ovals, and especially watching qualifying today, I think myself and IndyCar fans can finally accept that Alex Palou has figured out ovals, because, oh my goodness, what a performance by him today in qualifying.
It's a bit of a surprise that he won the pole, but nothing he's doing anymore is a surprise, Elijah. He's just the best there is.
Well, for me, it's so shocking that he got that pole by, 0.7 of a mile an hour.
More than that.
It's a very significant gap to second place. And, David Lucas had a very quick car, and we saw some lap times come in. But when he hit that lap time, I think he was in the 163s, 164s. That's just incredible. It's the first one to do it. Of course, he's the last driver rolling off, too, for qualifying. And who else but Alex Palou in the year he's having and the records he is chasing? It's incredible. We saw some pace out of all these drivers today, but we didn't see that pace literally until the very final run when Alex Palou ran. I think his first lap was in that 163, maybe low 164. I think it was 163.9 maybe, but it was just so high. And it was the first in the 163s, I think, all day. Just to see him come out and perform on an oval should be pretty scary for the rest of the IndyCar paddock. He's obviously proven himself a winner on these ovals, obviously having won a short oval earlier in the year. Milwaukee's a little bit different, where that banking on the track is very, very minimal. So I'll be interested to see how he's able to run that race tomorrow, because we always see a lot of passes at Milwaukee, so he's really going to have to hold his own.
Also earlier Saturday, I spoke with Will Retherford from Strictly Biased with Will Retherford, the twice-weekly show, mostly about the NFL, but about other things as well. He's filling in as our part-time Colts guy as well, and we talked about the Colts' 41-14 win over the Cincinnati Bengals in their preseason finale. in a reaction podcast that we aired on Saturday. But mostly we talked about the expectations or lack of them for the Colts heading into the regular season 2 weeks from today.
I expect that this team is constructed in a way that they're probably going to win at least 6 games just simply on the fact that it is good enough to do so. And they're good enough to win 9 games, probably. 10 games is, I think, their ceiling. Somewhere in that ballpark. The issue isn't that Daniel Jones takes that much of a step back as far as Richardson, but you lose the awesome plays. You lose the 5-star plays that Richardson's able to make that maybe only another quarterback on the entire planet is able to make. What Daniel Jones gives you, it's going to be conservative. He's not elevating anything. He's going to keep that offense at the same level that it was before, and there's no elevation.
His ceiling is pretty good.
It's okay. His ceiling is okay on a level on a scale of quarterbacks is okay.
Okay, maybe okay to pretty good is his ceiling.
Well, it's his ceiling.
Will, you and I are going to be talking this week on Strictly Biased with Will Retherford and the Colts Report, more about the Colts. Right now, the question I want to ask you is, what are you looking forward to most about week 1 and finding out about this team?
I want to see what the NFL record is for most field goals made, because I think Spencer Schrader might break the NFL record week 1, because I see this offense as being good enough to get you in field goal range and not good enough to finish the job.
Well, that's my next question. Does Tyler Warren change that?
I think that collectively as an offense, I think that they have good pieces. I think that they struggle for everything Michael Pittman is. He struggles to get the ball in the end zone for whatever reason, whether that's his doing, whether the scheme, the quarterback.
Tyler Warren has never had an issue getting in the end zone. Not that this is a different level, but
I think that that's true. I just fear that there's going to be opportunities to get in the end zone that will be missed because of Daniel Jones. That's fear that there will be an overthrow or an underthrow, and Tyler Warren's wide open down the seam for a walk-in touchdown on 3rd and 6, and Daniel Jones misses it, and we have to settle for a 40-yard field goal. That's what I fear. I think you know how far the quarterback's going to take this team. Can the collective group around him just be really, really good and play up to their potential and provide him with the run-after-catch opportunity? Are they able to effectively establish a run game to make the play-action game work a little better? They have to be perfect on offense, I think, to be good. And I think that's something that I worry about, because it's really hard to expect 10 other people to be perfect.
Thanks so much, Will.
Yep, thank you.
Joining the Central Indiana Sports Report now is Rob Hunt of the Herald Bulletin, who had the honor of covering Madison County golf today and watching the Lapel Bulldogs continue to make history.
Absolutely. No surprise that they were going to win. I mean, they're far and away the best team in the state, or in the county. They're ranked 15th in the state. But there was a lot of drama. Would they break their county record? How much would they win by? What was the race for second going to be like? Those kinds of things, and it really didn't disappoint. There was a lot of stuff going on today.
Well, let's start with Armington, Marshall, and Shetterly, because that is a pretty special trio. And, of course, Hummerhouse and Pilkington are pretty darn good, too.
One of the things I mentioned to Dylan Crosley, the Lapel coach, afterwards is, I mean, you're going to put Claire – I mean, we know about those top 3, but – I mean, I'd put Claire Hummerhouse up against anybody else's number 4, maybe anywhere. I mean, she's really solid. And, she struggled through the first 9, and that was kind of the theme for these girls today, was they all overcame something, and it was different. I mean, for Hummerhouse, it was a tough first 9 holes. I think she went out in 47, but came in 40 to finish at 87, and Armington breaks her driver shaft on the 3rd hole, teeing off right after a tough bogey that she was in a bad mental state, had to overcome that. She ends up being medalist the 3rd time she's a county champion. Marshall has a great front 9, and then goes on the back 9, pulls off a snowman on 10, gets one back with a birdie, but then double bogeys one of the par 5s, which you'd think that Marshall would just eat up.
Yeah.
Comes back from that with a birdie on the par 5, on the second par 5, and then sinks about a 15-foot eagle putt on a par 4, 16th. So she came back strong, and there was just a lot of that going on. I mentioned Shetterly. She bogeys the first 5 holes she plays, then really settled in and played the rest of the match even par. So there was a lot of mental gymnastics these kids had to do to, kind of right the ship. When, for all intents, any one of those four, the round could have completely unraveled if they let some of that stuff get to them. And at the end of the day, they're sitting there with the Madison County record.
Yeah, I was just about to go over some scores real fast. Lapel
Sure.
316, which is a county record. Frankton 382 for runner-up, and Anderson 386 to finish third. Really good days for Frankton and Anderson as well, especially Kyla and Addie. But before we get to them, Lapel, we assume right now that they are the third team in the sectional. They're not in a conference, but are they good enough to maybe even be the second team in the sectional?
Here's the thing. Yeah, I absolutely think so. I mean, it's going to be tough. Noblesville and HSE are really, really good. I believe they're both ranked in the top 5, top 10 of the state. So for Lapel to go down there and beat either of those teams, particularly the Noblesville, that's their home course at Harbor Trees, assuming they can get through as the third team and make it to regional. Now they're hosting regional.
Right.
Could they maybe move up into the top 2 and make it to state? That would be more feasible.
Well, if you can finish third in that sectional, you can certainly finish in the top 3 in that regional.
I would 100% agree. That's the Harbor Trees is by far the deepest and most talented sectional that feeds in that regional. And that fourth team in that sectional is Tipton. Probably not going to be deep enough to get out as a team, but they're probably their top 2 both get out.
Yeah,
as individuals. So just some really.
They both have in the past already.
Absolutely.
Rob, big fan of Kyla Bias.
Yes.
Love her personality, and man, does she work at her game, and it is showing.
Yeah, especially when you figure she's only been playing for 2 years. I mean, and here she is.
She's an addict.
And she. One of the things she talked about was 2 days ago on this, same course, she goes out there and shoots a 48, I think, on the front 9. Today she shoots 39 on the front 9 and finishes with an 82. She was in 4th place, I believe, and, just a really solid all county day for her. You talk about her personality. Just a delight to be around. She's so outgoing. She's engaging. She's funny. She talked about that the last time she played, and she said, "Here I was just going shank, shank, shank," and I'm just like, "Well, if you think I'm not using that quote in the story, you're out of your mind."
That's right. No kidding. She's a quote machine. It's something about the Frankton girls over there because they got some quote machines, don't they?
Yeah, and and some of those girls, like Kinsey Blackford, I think she was playing the 3 spot today for Frankton. She finished with a birdie. She drove the green on the par 4 16th. Got it close with her first putt, and then you love tap-in birdies, right? So,
right.
But yeah, the Frankton girls acquitted themselves very well today. I mean, everybody knew that Lapel was going to be tough to catch, and they win by 66 shots. That's an unreal margin.
It really is.
So the drama was that race for second. We figured it was going to be Frankton and Anderson, and that's what it ended up being.
Yeah, Rob, I know they're not contending for championships, but this Anderson girls golf story continues to be a really good one.
It's been a lot of fun to follow these girls around the last couple of years and to see them really improve. They take a lot of pride in what they're doing because Anderson has a phenomenal tradition of golf. You may not know it over the last 10 years, but you go back to, they've won some state championships. Morgan Madeline was one of the great golfers to ever come out of Madison County. So there's a lot of tradition there, and it kind of went away. There was some years where they just had 1 or 2 players. That a couple years ago they didn't have anybody, and then these 5 freshmen show up last year. We're competing, we're battling, and then this year they come out and they shoot 386. They finish 3rd in the county. They improved their team score by 43 shots from a year ago. And that's just phenomenal. That's crazy. And Madison going, who is very much in that same mold as Kyla Bias, just very outgoing, very friendly, loves this game, loves what she does representing the school. And she improved her score, I believe, by 17 shots today from last year to earn that all-county spot. The first Anderson girls player to earn all-county since 2018. As a matter of fact, I believe that was Alexa Nataline, Morgan's younger sister. Just a great job by Jeff Bates and Frankton hosting there at Grandview. This is the third year in a row, actually, it's been at Grandview. Kind of an odd quirk of things. Alexandria is hosting 1 year because Ewell, they were transitioning from Ewell to the Alexandria Golf Club. They held it at Grandview. And last year was Anderson hosting at Grandview, and now Frankton no longer playing at Meadowbrook. They're now at Grandview. So it'll be different next year to get it over to Edgewood, where Lapel hosting, but great job by Jeff Bates and Frankton and to Grandview for hosting tonight.
Next up is Scott Hunt of the Marion Chronicle, who had a boys-girls soccer doubleheader. Marion at Oak Hill, which was split. The Oak Hill girls dominating 8-0. Man, are they going to have a great season. And Marion's boys getting a bit of an upset win, 2-0 over the Golden Eagles. Welcome back to the Central Indiana Sports Report. Scott Hunt. After a late Friday night of football coverage, Scott recovered and got out to watch some soccer, a doubleheader between Marion and Oak Hill. Oak Hill's girls dominated. Marion's boys won a good one. Scott, tell us about it.
Well, I don't know that I'm even recovered from last night yet, but we're trying.
Enough to get to some soccer.
Yeah, it was a good night of soccer. This Oak Hill girls team is a really good, one of the best players in Class 2A, and Landry Hardman, and a lot of talent around them. They took care of a young, pretty inexperienced Marion team, 8-0. There are brighter days ahead for Marion. There's a couple of really good players for the Giants have right now, and there's a really, really good class of freshmen that are 8th graders right now that will be here next year. But right now, just Oak Hill is the class of the CIC for sure, and they've won their last two sectionals as well. They just have got buzzsawed by who ended up being the state runner-up in Leo 2 years ago in the regional. And Oak Hill has a special class of girls, and they're mostly underclassmen right now. The junior class is really, really good. Landry Hardman, who I mentioned earlier, had 4 goals for the Golden Eagles, and I think that gives her 8 in 3 matches this season. She had one against Eastbrook the first match, and then scored all 3 of their goals in a 3-0 win over Kokomo Wednesday night. And now she had 4 more against Marion. Cora Pond, who's a junior, and Erica Newhouse had a goal. They're both juniors. Annie Hale's also a junior, I believe. And then senior Madeline Cheek had a goal for Oak Hill tonight. And yeah, it's a really, really good junior class. They're going to go into the basketball season with high expectations, and as well they should, and be a good test for them, like it was last year with the sectional. They'll have another strong Lewis Cass team who beat them in the sectional last year. Returns a lot. Looking ahead, I don't want to get too deep into basketball conversation right now.
But we're in Indiana, so it's always going to go that way.
That is what it is, and that's that is the Oak Hill. That's that junior class of Oak Hill that we're talking about. And,
that's right. Let's talk about some Marion boys soccer. And
George Berry has been a Marion soccer coach for. He couldn't tell me for sure, but it's either 19 or 20 years, and he just made it public to his team tonight. He told me over the summer, and I've kind of kept it under my hat and waited till he told his team This will be his final team or his final season as the soccer coach at Marion, and they are off to a 2-0 start for George. Big win over Oak Hill tonight. It's their first win. I'm looking now on Max Preps. Their first win over Oak Hill since I want to say the 2018 season.
Wow. It was a whole lifetime ago.
2017 season, actually. Now they did after 2020, they didn't play again until 2024. There was three years there that they didn't play, but Oak Hill there'd been 2 ties. Oak Hill had won 3, and they tied last year, and they were heading down the road for a tie. There was no scoring in the first half tonight, and then just under 15 minutes into the second half, a couple of really talented underclassmen for Marion hooked up on a beautifully played corner kick by freshman Javion Davis that was met in midair by a talented sophomore Keegan Cook, who knocked it past Oak Hill's goalie for the first goal of the game. And then with about just under 7 minutes to play, Ethan Fain, who's a defensive back for Marion, and also has did a nice job last night for the Giants as the kicker. He hit a laser from about 25 yards out to the right side of to the left of the goalie at a pretty tough angle, and knocked it just past him and gave the Giants a big insurance goal. And Marion, they beat a pretty good Fort Wayne Snyder team to open the season Tuesday night. Their defense, that was a 4-3 game. Tonight they kept senior goalie Alec Hummel clean and really did a much better job defending. It was interesting against Snyder. The Marion team scored first only 7 minutes into the game, and then 90 seconds after they scored, they were down 2-1, and then ended up being down 3-1 at halftime. And since then, they've got 3 sophomores and a junior playing in the defensive end of the field, and since then they've really played well and have done a good job. They did a nice job. This is comparatively speaking for Oak Hill, especially for the last 2 or 3 years. This is a very young Oak Hill team. I think only 4 seniors, and they did a nice job protecting Hummel. Hummel did a nice job when he was faced with some pressure of cleaning it up, and Marion was able to get their first win over Oak Hill since August 30th of 2017. So pretty good night of soccer.
Thanks so much, Scott. Appreciate it as always. Elwood started a girls flag football program this year, and the first season opened on Saturday, and the Panthers beat Ritter 18-0. It's great to be an Elwood Panther. Anyway, I spoke with Elwood head coach Zak Jarrell after the win. I am joined now on the Central Indiana Sports Report by Elwood Girls Flag Football coach Zak Jarrell. The program had an historic day, the first official game under the Colts initiative. The Elwood Panthers took advantage of that. They started their season today against Ritter with an 18-0 victory. And Coach, nice to get a game in.
Oh, absolutely. It's been ups and downs, all the way through. Just with nerves mainly between, us coaches, we were nervous, the girls were nervous. Getting out there and actually being able to play really calmed a lot of us down, and we were able to get rolling.
So, you go through practice leading up to the season. Did you have any idea whether your team was good or bad? Had you played other teams? Did you have any gauge of what you would to expect?
No, not really. So we didn't have a chance to play scrimmage or anything like that. They had a scrimmage at Lawrence North July 19th, I believe. we just weren't ready to play in that, and plus it's a lot of bigger schools. But we did take the girls down there and kind of saw them play and saw where we were at and stuff like that. And compared to them, they were excited when they saw them play. So I knew they were in a good headspace.
Tell me about your girls. How many do you have out? Who has really taken to the sport, and what's the personality of the team?
So we have 13 girls now. How
many are on the field at once?
7 at one time. We only had 11 today due to physicals, getting practices in for the IHSA rules. But we rolled with 11 today. Everyone got good playing time. As far as the team, the girls they're so, trying to find the right word, giddy. They're happy about everything. I mean, we had a practice a couple weeks ago where, it's the end of practice. And I'm like, all right, this is last play. And then go last play, another play, another play, another play. And I mean, they feed on it. They love the sport.
Well, that helps.
Absolutely. We are consistent. We're a very young team. I think 9 out of our 13 are freshmen.
Wow.
So we're a young team. So we've definitely got a future to look forward to. That's why coming out today and actually getting the win was super positive.
So 4 years to watch this team grow, that's pretty exciting.
Oh, absolutely. I'm super excited. I know Ryan's super excited. The fan base, they were super excited today. It's gonna be some great years for girls flag football here in Elwood.
Tell me who's on your team, Coach.
All right, so we'll start with our senior, Olivia Rexford. She's one of our team captains. She is super, super smart girl. She plays middle linebacker for us, and I mean, she can check defensive calls no matter what they line up in. She can check what we need to. Yeah, so we've got our junior, Kinsey Harris, who had 113 rushing yards,
wow,
2 touchdowns, and an interception. Sophomores, we've got Michaela Wiggum and Grace Kalin. They're superstars on the team. Grace also was part of the first ever girls wrestling team at Elwood last year.
She's a history maker.
She is. She wants to join it. She wants to get in there. Absolutely. Our freshmen, we have a laundry list. We have Lilith Fuller, Journey Noon, Savannah Schuler. And then we have Elena Griego and Jasmine Griego. They're twins. We have J.D. Hawk, Maggie Miller, and then Sam Peterson and Jada Cameron.
The name Noon is very familiar with Elwood football fans. Of course, one of the all-time greatest football players in Elwood history is Chris Noon. I assume there's a relation because they're all over Elwood now.
They are all over the road. I'm not sure if there is any relation, but let me tell you, she's actually the quarterback. She has all the fight in the world. She no matter what happens, she's not getting down on herself. There was plenty of times today where we called pass plays and she was getting blitzed and she'd take off. She finished with, I believe, 55 yards today and a touchdown.
Nice. All right, Coach. So the Elwood Panthers girls flag football team has never lost a game.
Nope. Hey, we're undefeated.
Undefeated in the history of the program.
Undefeated.
We're going to enjoy that as long as we can. And my last question, Coach, is it great to be an Elwood Panther?
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing better.
I cannot hide my bias about the Elwood Panthers. All right, you guy, Grant Shouse is excited that the college football season is back.
Welcome now, Grant Shouse of the Action Sports Network and our IU guy on the IU Report every week on the Central Indiana Sports Report. This week, Grant, we have a special coming up Sunday. Best case and worst case scenarios for IU football for every game, and it was a lot of fun. And the college football season has begun. It officially began Saturday. Iowa State 24, Kansas 21 in Dublin. How excited are you that it has officially begun?
It's something that you've been looking forward to for months. It's hard to believe that it's back, to be honest with you. We were watching the national championship game not too long ago, watching Ohio State beat Notre Dame, and then the next thing you know, we're already through the off season and it's finally back. It was a good game today with Kansas State and Iowa State. Some other good games here tonight. As we're talking right now, Stanford and Hawaii are battling going into the fourth quarter out in Hawaii, and might as well call them the Stanford Colts now because they got Andrew Luck as their GM and Frank Reich as their head coach. I think that, this season's going to be really fun to watch. If today was any indicator, it really was,
So Saturday, UNLV beat Idaho State 38-31. Kansas beat Fresno State 31-7, and Western Kentucky is about to close out Sam Houston. So, like you said, not a lot of interesting games, but Thursday we have one coming up. Boise State is at South Florida. It really gets going on Saturday. How excited are you for the Hoosiers?
Yeah, really excited. I'll be at the game next Saturday against Old Dominion. Need that place officially sold out and rock. We talked about that on the IU report. People will hear it about how important it is to sell that game out. As of right now, there's still tickets available. Get tickets, people. If you're interested, get tickets. Even if it's on a secondary market, get tickets. Be there, support these guys. I think it's going to be a good day. You have College Game Day being in Columbus, their last game with Lee Corso before he goes into retirement. And, that's a special thing. I watched a tribute video for him and a special that they ran on Friday night on ESPN. And getting through that, watching that video was an emotional video. Seeing Kirk Herbstreit all emotional and teared up about it as someone who is a father figure for him. The premier matchup, of course, being Texas and Ohio State at Ohio State. Quite literally, that could be the preview for the national championship. How unbelievable is that we get that the very first game of the Saturday slate. The matchups are going to be big. Week one's always fun. Week one's honestly my favorite week, I think.
You find out a lot, that's for sure. So
absolutely.
We have Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Florida State, LSU, Clemson, and, of course, the one that everybody's going to be watching, Winkers Wright and the Illinois State Redbirds going into Norman to upset the Oklahoma Sooners.
You would hope, man.
I hope.
Wouldn't that be something?
We can't wait to see what he is able to do. Our nephew, Heisman Trophy candidate. That's what we're saying.
Sure.
Thanks so much, Grant, for your time. Always appreciated, and can't wait for college football to get started.
Yep. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me, and we'll be talking about it all season long. Can't wait.
Everybody check out Grant and Mike Hutzel on the IU report coming out Sunday. Their best case and worst case scenario for every game. And, man, Mike Hutzel was a hoot.
Oh, he was great, wasn't he? I hope to get him more involved. That'd be awesome.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.